Chemical Safety Board. Not your involvement, the Chemical Safety Board, they announced they're doing an investigation into the incident. I'm asking if you support, okay, well, I'm asking you a question, and the question is, do you support the Chemical Safety Board investigation? Either you don't or you do. I understand OSHA's doing something.
I don't understand why you would think I wouldn't support that.
Well, I'm just, that's what I'm saying. So you do support it?
Sure.
Okay, great. The president's proposal, the budget proposal, is to eliminate the Chemical Safety Board funding. Do you support that? Do you support eliminating?
Every single aspect of the fiscal year 27 budget that I'm here talking about, I am supportive.
So do you support the Chemical Safety
Every
Board's
single
elimination?
aspect.
The gentlelady from California, Ms. Barragan.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. EPA Administrator, in my district, the EPA's risk management program inspected a chlorine transfer facility, JCI Jones Chemical, in 2015 and in 2017, and they found serious safety problems, including corroded equipment handling hazardous chemicals. When the EPA returned in 2024, it found many of the same issues again, but they were not treated as repeat violations because they occurred more than 5 years apart, and the penalty was just a few $1,000s. EPA has also acknowledged that it does not inspect every RMP facility more frequently than once every 5 years. The question, Administrator, is can the EPA increase the frequency of inspections at facilities with a history of violations like JCI so these problems are identified and enforced as repeat violations?
The work of the Office of Enforcement and Compliance is important. We take seriously any matters that are raised to us from members of Congress. We are happy to look at any of these cases strictly on the merits, and while we won't be able to communicate publicly about any ongoing enforcement matters, if there is a belief that something needs to be inspected, to look at, to be enforced against, or working with our agency to comply on,
Sir,
we will make sure that we mobilize those in the agency.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm trying to get an answer to my question. My question is really about not waiting 5 years for the EPA to come back when there's a repeat violator. So I'm trying to ask if maybe you as administrator think that if the EPA could increase the frequency of the inspections when you have like a facility that's having repeated violations. Do you think
I never said anything about waiting 5 years. I'm talking about at the end of this hearing.
I understand.
If you want to have a
asking...
member of your staff talk to someone on my team, and we can look into it.
Okay.
By the way, we might
I'm
have
asking
an
as a general
update now.
rule, if you have a repeat violator, whether it's a good idea for the EPA not to wait 5 years to come back. I mean, it's a simple, easy question. It's not a trick question.
Of course. And I've never said anything about waiting 5 years.
Yeah. Okay, well, I hope the EPA will look at doing that when there's repeat violators. So moving on, last week, a hydrogen sulfide leak at an industrial facility in West Virginia killed 2 workers, and it sent dozens more people to the hospital. The U.S. Chemical Safety Board, an independent agency that investigates chemical disasters, has already announced it is investigating the incident. Do you support the investigation by the Chemical Safety Board into the fatal chemical release in West Virginia?
Well, we have been involved in this process already. Based on Catalyst Refiners' self-reported Tier 2 emergency and hazardous chemical inventory submissions from 25 and 26, the chemicals and their quantities included in the self-reported submission did not trigger applicable thresholds under the risk management plan rule. OSHA is leading.
So, sir, I'm going to interrupt you because I'm trying to get a very specific answer about the Chemical Safety Board. Not your involvement, the Chemical Safety Board, they announced they're doing an investigation into the incident. I'm asking if you support the Chemical Safety Board doing an investigation. It's a yes or no.
Yeah, well, if you cut me off right when I was saying that OSHA is leading the on-site investigation. EPA is coordinating with OSHA to determine whether or not the facility was complying with regulations.
So you don't support the investigation by the Chemical Safety Board then?
I'm not saying that at all.
I'm trying to get an answer to that question. Will you, this is not that
I'm telling
hard.
you what the process is that we're following.
Okay, well, I'm asking you a question, and the question is, do you support the Chemical Safety Board investigation?
What you just watched is a common Washington pattern. A direct yes or no question meets a cloud of process language, side explanations, and delay. The key issue here is not whether agencies coordinate behind the scenes, It's whether a public official can clearly state support for an independent investigation when lives were lost. Notice the pressure point. Once the question was narrowed repeatedly, the answer finally became simple. That raises the obvious question for viewers. If the answer was yes, why did it take so long to get there? Moments like this matter because hesitation can reveal more than a speech ever will.
Either you don't or you do. I understand OSHA's doing something.
I don't understand why you would think I wouldn't support that.
Well, I'm just, that's what I'm saying. So you do support it.
Sure,
Okay, great.
I guess the problem is that
that's so easy. This is not a trick question.
So I thought you were maybe interested in
So,
what was going on beyond the grandstanding, but go ahead.
You're the grandstanding. You're the one reading prepared
Grandstanding.
statements instead of asking questions,
I'm
sir.
telling you the process that's going on. I'm telling you more
so
about what we know, and
You just
don't
said
wanna
you
know about it.
support the Chemical Safety Board's funding. I mean, rather, the Chemical Safety Board's investigation. The president's proposal, the budget proposal, is to eliminate the Chemical Safety Board funding. Do you support that? Do you support eliminating?
Every single aspect of the fiscal year 27 budget that I'm here talking about, I am supportive.
So do you support the Chemical Safety
Every
Board's
single
elimination?
aspect, every single aspect of what the president
so
is
you-
proposing
so
in his
I'm gonna reclaim my
FY27
time
budget
because
proposal, I
It's
am
clear the
in support
administrator
of.
is just killing time instead of, what he just said is contradictory. On the one hand, he supports the Chemical Safety Board investigation. On the
Actually,
other
when you
hand,
cut
he
me off
supports
when I was talking
eliminating.
about an OSHA process
the-
that's going on right now.
It's my time,
is
sir. It's not
supportive.
your time. It's
Right,
not
you
your time.
don't wanna-
Even though this chairman
you don't want
doesn't
the
want to
rest of the
enforce
story.
it, I will.
Everybody settle
You've just
down.
contradicted
Settle
yourself,
I
and it's very
contradicted myself.
rude. It's very rude
Telling
to
you
even have the
actual
chairman.
process that's going on right
Even
now.
have the chairman have the witness stop
Why
what
don't
he's
you
saying.
care
He's
about the
clearly
actual
contradicting
process that's
himself.
going on?
And he looks like a fool in doing so.
Looking like
And in that, you won't even stop so that I could be heard. It's not appreciated. And with that, I'm going to yield back my time.
Lady yields back.
And, hopefully the EPA administrator can take the smirk off his face and worry about people's health and safety.
Okay, you didn't say anything about OSHA.
Oh.
This exchange became bigger than one hearing question because it exposed two separate battles happening at the same time: the fight over accountability and the fight over control of the narrative. First, on accountability, the Congresswoman raised two serious concerns: repeat safety violations at a chemical facility and a deadly industrial leak that killed workers and hospitalized others. Those are not abstract policy debates. Those are questions about whether regulators act fast enough, inspect often enough, and respond clearly enough when public safety is on the line. Instead of concise answers, viewers heard procedural detours, institutional jargon, and repeated attempts to move the conversation away from the direct question being asked. Second, on narrative control, watch how the tension escalated. The representative kept trying to narrow the discussion into plain language. Do you support the investigation? Yes or no? Do you support eliminating funding? Yes or no? That strategy matters because complex bureaucratic language can sometimes shield officials from politically difficult answers. But once the questions became unavoidable, the contradiction came into full view. Expressing support for investigation while also backing a budget proposal to eliminate the very board conducting it. And that is the most revealing moment of the entire exchange. Because whether someone agrees with the budget or not, ordinary viewers understand a basic principle. If an institution is valuable enough to support in a crisis, why support removing it? If it is unnecessary, why praise its role when scrutiny begins? That tension is what made the hearing combustible. Then came the final layer, tone. Public hearings are not just about policy. They're about trust. When the subject is worker deaths, toxic leaks, hazardous facilities, and regulatory enforcement, people expect seriousness. They expect urgency. They expect humility. Any sign of dismissiveness, irritation, or smirking, fairly perceived or not, can become politically damaging because it shifts the story from policy disagreement to public respect. The deeper takeaway is this: institutions lose credibility when they appear slow, evasive, or selective. Regulators exist because dangerous industries require oversight. Congress exists to demand answers when that oversight appears weak. And when both sides collide in public, Voters judged not only who had the facts, but who seemed honest, clear, and focused on real people affected by these failures. That is why moments like this travel far beyond the hearing room. They tap into a broader frustration many citizens already have, that powerful systems speak fluently about process, but struggle to speak plainly about responsibility. So what do you think? Was this fair oversight exposing contradictions, or political theater overtaking substance? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video if you found this breakdown useful, share it with someone following U.S. politics, and subscribe for more sharp political analysis.